I took the opportunity to come here, and after talking with a friend, decided only to come for 3 months.
Okay.
See what Ghana is like outside of the holiday season and see how well I would be able to assimilate. You know, when that 3 months was so much fun, obviously, just coming here and paying attention. I was like making clothes every day. I would just go to a local seamstress shop, just make things, and I could fashion. Any opportunity to see anything outside of Accra, I, took it up. I got to see some of Ghana. And then as the 3-month mark was coming to a close, I was offered a job in real estate, and I said, well, why not? I think Ghana has taught me a lot about patience. I've learned a lot about how the world really works outside of our American dream bubble.
Sure. Boom! What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Joannis or Joe Hitago. I'm a Sierra Leonean American living in West Africa. And if you want to know why a real estate agent would move from Miami to Accra, Ghana, then this is the video for you. Okay, cool. So today we're meeting up with Maya King. She's a real estate agent here in Accra, Ghana. She has a couple of properties that she showed me, so we will get a chance to view those later, but I get a chance to sit down with her and talk to her about her history, her decision to move to Ghana, her experience being in Ghana, what she's learned from it, how she's liking it. It's really interesting to hear her story. There's a lot that she covers here. You guys have to check it out. So let's just get right into it. Maya King. Thanks, Maya, for doing this.
It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me.
I'm excited to talk to you. She has a very interesting story, so we're going to dig into it. We're going to talk about Maya's story, why she moved here, what she does for a living, and how she's liked it so far, and everything else in between. So with that, let's get right into it. So first things first. So Maya, can you talk a little bit about your company and what it is that you do for a living here?
Sure. So I started a real estate company. It's called Magnate Realty. This encompasses everything that I've learned in real estate working in Miami and New York for the past 14 years. So understanding a client or a customer's luxury expression, customer service, and being able to meet expectations that are set for me. I don't know, I just kind of wrapped it all up into my own thing. And I'm doing sales, leases, long-terms and short-term, commercial, office leasing, and furnishing and decorating spaces. I also do some consulting. If a developer is working on a project or homeowner is working on a project, I'll do some consulting and property management as well.
Wow, okay. So all things real estate, basically.
All things real estate.
Okay, so commercial and residential. So how long have you been in Ghana?
A year and a month now.
Okay, a year and a month. And so this
is my third visit.
Your third visit. Okay, so talk to us about that. So you decided to move to Ghana after living in the States, but you visited here a few times. So you came for the first time in 2017, am I right?
Correct.
Yeah. Okay, so what brought you here the first time in 2017?
Yeah, I came because a friend invited me to come and check out what the holiday season was like in Ghana.
Okay.
My birthday is also during the holidays, so it's a great time to celebrate, and they invited me to come out, and I did. I didn't have any expectations of what Ghana was like, and I was pleasantly surprised. I think the first thing that hit me is it feels a lot like being in Jamaica. It smells a lot, feels a lot, the same trees, the same plants, different food.
Sure. Oh, and you are Jamaican too, right? So I guess maybe we should talk about that. So your dad's Jamaican. Okay, so there was a little bit of home a little bit, right? And for those of you who don't know, you can look it up, but many Jamaicans are Ghanaians, right? They're Akan and what else? Asante people. So there is a direct correlation, which makes sense. And you meet a lot of Rastafarians here too, by the way. So, I met a guy at the beach. You can watch that episode at the beach. His name is High Spirit, of course. And he's a Rastafarian, and it was a great experience. You guys gotta check that video out. Okay, so you came in 2017. It felt familiar, right? Food is different, but you mentioned it felt familiar. And then you came back again. When did you come back again?
In 2019.
2019, for a wedding.
Again, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think so much had happened in my life between my first visit and my second visit that I was just on a different plane, energetically, spiritually, I would say. And I had, I kind of heard this is where I'm supposed to be, but, when you leave here, you leave the fun, and you're like, whoa, okay, well, how? You
Right.
know?
Yeah.
And I, being open to the call, kind of put out my own little Gideon's fleece, and I started my savings plan and some other ideas of how to make the transition comfortably from States to Ghana. And it didn't happen that way.
Okay.
Because I think that that's how things happen. Timelines are not our own, I think, is the thing to remember.
Yeah.
And I took the opportunity to come here, and after talking with a friend, decided only to come for 3 months.
Okay.
See what Ghana is like outside of the holiday season and see how well I would be able to assimilate. And when that 3 months was so much fun, obviously, just coming here and paying attention. Sure. I was like making clothes every day. I would just go to a local seamstress shop, just make things, and after fashion. Any opportunity to see anything outside of Accra, I took it up. I got to see some of Ghana. And then as the 3-month mark was coming to a close, I was offered a job in real estate, and I said, well, why not?
So that 3 months turned into 1 year? So that was when?
October 2nd was the day I came to Ghana.
Okay, so on that note, how has it been this last year for you? Good, the bad, the ugly?
I would say that this version of Maya and the version that came a year ago are two distinctly separate and evolved. I've evolved a lot since then. Ghana will teach you a lot about patience.
I've said that so many times. It's so true. It's so true.
When I go in the mirror in the morning, I expect to see shock white gray hair.
Yeah.
But I thankfully haven't.
Sure.
But I think Ghana has taught me a lot about patience. I've learned a lot about how the world really works outside of our American dream bubble.
Sure. Yeah.
And how the rest of the world is affected by the American dream, I think, as well.
Yeah.
How much it participates. And I've been blessed to have, even though time moves slower here in Ghana, in a way you have more time to do things because you can't be rushed to do other things. There's some things that you just cannot do quickly.
Right.
So you have a little bit more time to spend in, for me, self-reflection, introspection. I've been reading a lot, and moving to Ghana has been an experience that's made me so much stronger, and I have a renewed vision of what I want out of life. And I think that being here in Ghana, it plays a huge role in that. So I'm open to where my future is going, but I definitely see Ghana, regardless of how difficult it has been for me.
Sure.
The few challenges that I've had to overcome, I definitely see this as a part of my life. So I'm open to making it work, and I think that this is interesting way to be a part of it. I do believe that there's a mass exodus
from the U.S.
From the diaspora.
Yeah, from the diaspora here. Yeah, I agree with you on that. I mean, I've just in the time that I've been here, I keep meeting people that have been here shorter time frame than I've been here, and I thought I haven't been here that long, right? But there's more people I'm meeting that have been here less time than I am meeting who've been here longer, which is good. So on that note, right? So you've run into some challenges. Can you talk about some of those, but then also some of the great things that you've discovered about yourself along the way? Do you have an example of something that you had never experienced before coming to Ghana, but had happened here, and what you learned from it?
I guess you learn a little bit better how to read the room when you're here.
Sure.
It's actually etiquette to do so, I think. To realize who you are in relation to everyone else, where you are, and really how you should report yourself. I think I came here at first thinking I'll just be so free and be myself, but I think that version of myself that I'm trying to be is probably just evolving still. So I'm trying to be a little bit more respectful and careful as I do things. It's been so interesting to me to kind of see the difference in legacies that were started here in Ghana and then maybe moved to the United States voluntarily or London voluntarily, how those people live and hold themselves versus maybe what I see from direct descendants of slaves in the States, and that is really remarkable to me. Seeing these younger Gen Zers, and their just amazing potential for life and how they'll change everything, how they'll participate in the future has been cool. One thing that I've learned that I will pass back as a tip, one thing I feel confident to say that I've been through enough to know, accountability measures here in Ghana might be different than what we're used to everywhere else.
Sure.
And I think that accountability here in Ghana can be seen as a faux pas. You gotta be careful like how you do it, you know? And that I would also say after that Ghana is a transactional society. So if you're not here making a transaction, you're losing or you're being taken advantage of. So if you come here prepared to jump in that like double dutch, you know,
Sure.
and know when you're being entered into a transaction or when you're deciding to enter into a transaction. And that will make every interaction you have with local people, you know, Ghanaian people, a little bit different.
Sure.
When you understand that.
You mentioned that after being here 3 months, you were offered a job. So I think one really interesting thing about being in Ghana is that there are a lot of people who really want to see us all succeed, right? And there's like a community, as you meet people, we're all trying to put people in touch with other people. You know, I was at a dinner, and at that dinner, I was mentioning I had a YouTube channel. That person said, I know someone, you should meet her because she's helping expats or people from the diaspora move here. She wasn't here. She was like, you should talk to my friend Maya. And that's how we got connected. And so it's very easy to network and get connected with other people. So I love that about Ghana. But let's talk about that. So you were here for 3 months. How did you get a job in 3 months? You were offered a job and then you decided to stay. So can we talk through how all of that happened?
Yeah, sure. So similar situation. Other people were at a dinner.
Okay.
And, you know, a friend of a friend that I had just met or knew through, mostly through a network out of New York.
Mm-hmm.
She met someone or was being shown a property by a real estate agent, a broker that was opening a startup.
Mm-hmm.
And he mentioned that he's looking for different talent, you know, maybe to help him set his brand differently. And so she's like, oh, well, my friend is here from the States and she's considering staying here, so you should talk to her, see what she can bring your brand. And that's how I got an interview, which was also at another dinner. And then I was offered a role.
Nice. You've been here a year. You've been through many different experiences. Do you see yourself living here for the long term? Any other part of Africa? Do you ever plan on moving back to the States? Like, what are your thoughts about the future in terms of where you want to live?
Yeah, I think originally when you think, you know, let's go back to Africa, you think you kind of forget about United States, but I think the reality, if you have family there, you have to have a plan to be bi-coastal if you can. So my ideal life looks like I'm spending equal amounts of time between here, States, and Jamaica.
Okay.
Ideally, I would love to, you know, be involved in businesses that are between Ghana and Jamaica, Ghana and States as well. And, you know, I see myself having a family that's based out of here.
Okay.
But we have roots in a few different places. Yeah, I can definitely see that. And Ghana is like going through like this boom, this wave. Like, you know, Twitter's coming here, headquarters are coming here.
Yes, Twitter's here. They had like 11 roles or something like that open. I think there's only like 3 left, so they're filling the roles. Yeah,
you know, there's a few different tech platforms actually that are coming in, and there's so much culture being driven out of West Africa. You know, arts, entertainment, which is what affects everything else. Microfinancing, right? Digital e-commerce, you know, has a huge stake here. And so I think the different economic drivers that are being developed right now, they already have a huge stake here in Ghana, and so they're West Africa, so I feel like it will possibly just become an even more advantageous, another place, more opportunities to live in over the next 50 years or so. And I would like to be part of that wave. Absolutely. Get in early.
Side of it, absolutely. You just ride the wave, right? That's it. Okay, so I want to talk to you more about your current role and what you're doing, so you can talk a little bit about that. So you work for this company, you've been there for quite some time now.
Oh no, I don't work for them anymore.
Oh, so let's take a step back. I'd love to talk about that. Okay, so you had that job and then you decided to venture out on your own.
Yes.
Okay, so let's talk about what you're currently doing. So you've already mentioned in the beginning you're doing commercial, residential, consulting. I'm trying to remember everything you said. There was so much. You run the gamut. Interior design, decor. Okay, so what made you venture out on your own and how has that been so far?
I decided to venture out on my own because I am my brand, right? I don't represent anybody else. That's part of my brand and what I do and how I do things. There's no one to argue with other than myself, you know, and I would be my only limitation. So I've been on like an entrepreneur journey for since the beginning of 2020 until now. And this is something like another chapter of that. It hasn't been easy, but it's been easier because of community, because of making friends here and networking and getting to know people. And, you know, Ghana works largely off of word of mouth when it comes to marketing.
Right.
That has helped usher in clients, both property owners, property searchers, and even opportunities like sitting here with you today.
Sure.
So I think like my effort directly affects my income
Sure.
as an entrepreneur, and that's kind of cool. I
Yeah.
have the bandwidth to do what I need to do to take care of myself and also provide for myself. So
Yeah.
it's been
Yeah.
cool. It's early days, but
Sure.
it's definitely been cool. And I'm proud to say that I've come here and I've started something.
Yeah, I mean, I love to hear that. I mean, I love the entrepreneur's journey. I'm an entrepreneur and intrapreneur at heart. I have a full-time job, but I'm also doing all these other things like this, YouTube. And so I love hearing those stories. So it hasn't been easy, but you've been making it work. How are you getting clients today? Is it mostly through referrals? Do you do any marketing? No marketing?
Yeah. Well, I'm talking with the social media marketing team because
Okay.
that's a little bit
Sure.
plus the time that it takes to meet people and do
Sure.
what I do.
Sure.
So I have like an Instagram page, we have a Twitter page, we have a Facebook page, TikTok, we have a website. But largely clientele have come through word of mouth. Through like maybe my very first lead here, she's introduced me to quite a few other
Okay.
people, and that's helped me do what I do, and those people as well have been referring me. So
Yeah. Yeah, I love the way word of mouth works here, right? I mean, it's a pretty big country, pretty big city, but it's a small country and city in that way, right? Okay, so we're in one of your units right now, as you guys can see. And so you have condos. We looked at a house earlier today. So you also do rentals and you do sales, right? What are some of the price ranges that we can expect to see with some of the units or the houses, either renting or purchasing?
I tried to show you everything in this median range. So
Sure.
the ones that we're looking at today are all in that 300, mid 300s range.
$1,000
$1,000 US. Yes.
for sale, of course.
That's correct.
Yeah.
So this is another 3-bedroom. That's another ensuite.
Yeah.
3-bedroom setup with a shared shared guest bath. This one also has servants' quarters, but this property has a pool, has a gym, 24/7 security, gate as well, electric fence as well, covered parking, generator, and of course water reservoir. And 7 days a week reception, property management on site. So it's a little bit more bang for your buck, but it is shared common amenities. And this is the unit of one of my first clients that I got when I started my real estate journey here in Ghana, and he's always believed in me and always supported me, and so I was very happy to show you what he has.
I can't wait to show it to you guys. It's going to be a completely separate video, so you'll have to look for that, but the place is really nice. I was looking for different places to shoot this interview, and as soon as I saw all that in the background, I was like, yeah, I want to do it this way. There's a lot of space in here, so you guys will see that in the next video for sure. Okay, is there anything that I missed? Anything you want to tell people? Maybe advice you want to give? You gave some advice earlier, but is there anything any last words you want to give to anyone before we give all your social media handles?
So Ghana is a vibrant place.
Sure.
It's if you've never been here before, when you come and visit and you land, you'll feel that energy as soon as you get here.
Yeah.
It's like being in New York City or LA or London. There's a different energy, but this one here in Ghana is really strong and really different than you might have ever seen before, and it's easy to get drawn in, and that's not a bad thing. Because the same way you get drawn in, so are hundreds of thousands of other people that will come here, will figure out how they make ends meet here, will look at their investment opportunities here, so be open to it. But I would say first, come and visit. Be open to the energy that Ghana has. But remember that this is Ghana, it's its own country, it's its own culture, it's its own history. It has so much for us to learn from. How Ghana is ready for that exodus, for these transitions, I don't know, but the more people are here, the more people are talking about it. We've seen over the past year that powerful unified conversation is what makes changes. So if you feel like, oh, I want to go to Ghana because XYZ, we'll come to Ghana, unify with other people here who are change makers, and make the changes that we need to see for ourselves, for our kids someday. And the third thing I want to say is real estate is in US dollars. I think that a Western standard of finishes, aesthetics are included in that sales price. So those things are not manufactured here, they are not sold here necessarily, they're probably imported from other places. So this is what you would probably pay for the same apartment in Miami, Florida, probably. But that's because it has the same Italian tiles, the same floor to ceiling windows and other finishes. So real estate isn't cheap, but it doesn't depreciate the same here.
Yeah.
So it's an interesting space to be in.
Very well said. Okay, one last thing I want to ask. For everyone to find you, what socials? You mentioned you're on TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. What are all your social channels?
Everything is the Magnate Group. The Magnate, like king, my king. Group.
Got it.
Yeah, and everything has the exact same logo, so it's very easy to find it. The same navy background with like the gold logo.
Nice.
And everything is the same.
Okay, so it'll all be in the description below, the Magnate Group. But definitely look her up. If you have any questions about real estate, you're planning to move, you're looking for something to rent or buy, check out Maya's all of her Instagram and social media handles all below in the description. And with that, thanks again, Maya. I really appreciate you taking the time.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. Thanks for watching, guys. If you like this content, go ahead and hit that thumbs up. Make sure you comment, share it with any of your friends, and don't forget to subscribe. And when you subscribe, hit the notification bell so you're notified every time a new video comes out. All right, bye, guys. Yeah, so that was Maya's story. What did you guys think? If you're looking for a realtor, Maya is really good. I went on a couple tours of places with her. She knows what she's doing. She's working with really good people. She got some really good places that she has too. So if your budget is within the range that you guys are gonna hear about those places, definitely hit Maya up. Her contact information for her company is gonna be below in the description. But I want you guys to let me know everything you think about this interview. If you have any questions for Maya that I might not have asked, if you have any questions for me in regards to my conversation with Maya, write it all in the comment section below. Definitely want to hear back from you guys. All right, guys, thanks for watching. See you all in the next video. All right, guys, if you like this video, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, like, comment, and share it with your friends. All right, see you on the next video.